There, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my lives or in my videos, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I do hope you are all having a wonderful week. Here we are on Wednesday already. Time just seems to be chugging along, isn't it? And I think sometimes I feel like I'm in a time warp. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, that we just keep going like faster and faster and faster through the days. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you all coming in. I'll give you all a chance to come in. First live in a while. Good morning. Yes, it's good to see you coming in. I've got some interesting stuff to talk about this morning before I get to questions or any channeling for you. I have a little bit of time this morning. Aaron agrees with the time warp. I just feel like we're in a new timelines. It's been kind of interesting how I've been kind of navigating through that and feeling into that. It's been months since I made a live. TB, good to see you here. Welcome. Hello. Um, so I sat with Spirit early this morning and did some incredible channeling, and I'm hoping that I can relay that to you. Sometimes I do struggle with physical world words describing what Spirit is talking to me about. But one thing that I really felt coming in this morning in with my meditation was this powerful shift. We are coming into a space where messages and clarity are coming in stronger. There seems to be this deep intuitive wisdom that is kind of like knocking at our door, or perhaps you're feeling it as little pings, as just that heightened awareness of that intuitive piece of, this is what I need to do, this is where I need to go, this is what I want. This, what's also coming in this week, if you haven't already felt it, is easier communication. So thoughts are coming in very clear, easier communication with yourself and with other people. Perhaps you're having more of, I know that now. Oh, that makes sense now. There's a big shift ahead that's coming through, and I can feel it like just kind of like a train, with that powerful train energy coming in, and it's waking us up to that deeper communication. So pay attention over the next couple days. Just kind of perhaps just sit for a moment and practice that pause. Of, I'm just going to hear what my higher self is trying to tell me, or what my spirit guides are trying to tell me. The communication is clearing up, and what I really feel coming forward here is that blooming lotus. We've all been through some muddy times, and we have had a lot of turbulence here in the physical world, and there's a lot of blooming through that anyway. It's going to get more and more and more loud with this helpful, pay attention, intuitive wisdom. It may come to you as downloads. You may be having some dreams. You may be picking up a deeper awareness. We're connecting more and more into that higher space, into that spirit dimension, into inwards as well. So for those of you who have been doing a lot of healing work or a lot of inner work on working on yourself and navigating through that, there's a lot of clarity and a lot of easier communication. I wrote that, like, let me see, five times on my sheet when I was doing some automatic writing. Easier communication, easier communication. The thoughts feel more clear. The energy is more forward. And perhaps it's going to come in with to us with this knowing, but remember the human piece to it. We do kind of tend to lean out in a little bit of fear of change and a little bit of old patterns. We do kind of, and it's a natural reaction sometimes to have that reaction of, I don't know if I want to navigate through that big change. But it's coming in as a big shift, and it's coming in with helpful energy to move forward. Maruna, exactly how I feel. I can express myself without overthinking. Yeah, just be a little bit aware of that our natural desire to go back to what's comfortable, even if what's comfortable isn't working. Sometimes we do tend to pull back in there, don't we? Because it's that comfort zone. The clarity and the intuitive wisdom, I feel it's like I heard it as a knock and as a ping, right? So when your cell phone pings, that's kind of how I felt. That's kind of what I heard, exactly what I heard, and that knock. So, this may come to you with in many different ways. It may come with some closure from past experiences. giving you that space to kind of say, okay, that no longer works for me, or that person and I are just going to kind of go this way. It will come in different. Perhaps it's going to be an easier way of communicating how you're feeling or what you need. TB, but I felt more natural knowing it makes sense. Excellent. That's very good. I'm so grateful for this heightened intuition coming. Sometimes I can't tell what's my anxious mind and what's intuitive. Very good statement. And sometimes TB, it does come into you that way. So many of my mentoring students will say to me, "What if I'm making this up? What if this isn't real?" Just give yourself the space to sit with it, because the more that you do that, the more clearer it's going to be, and the trust is going to start flowing a lot naturally with this as well. Powerful shift that's coming in. And spirit just kept saying to me, just watch the lean out. So just be careful that you're not leaning out of it. So just give, again, with the spiritual practices, it does come down to that quite often, is I need to just trust the process. I need to sit and give myself that time and that space. And it kind of trickles back into what I talked about earlier this week as well as last week, with that spirit, with that balance, giving yourself that time to pause, giving yourself the opportunity to see what's are you too much physical world, not enough, not enough giving yourself that time. It makes perfect sense. I have like, oh, now I truly I get why last week and this earlier this week felt the way it did, because it's preparing us for this big shift, for this big collective, and taking us up and that's exactly how it felt. Is it felt that it was taking us up. The other thing that spirit whispered to me this morning, it was, enjoy where you are. Enjoy where you are. So, and sometimes we don't truly take that moment to enjoy where we are. Right. And it's like, I'm here today and I'm going to enjoy everything that's around me as well. So again, with that, taking that time with just acknowledging the sky, acknowledging what you really love around you, the people around you, the nature around you. Just kind of work on that, enjoying where you are. I'm right here learning. I'm right here, gaining new wisdom. I'm paying attention. Just kind of give yourself that space. It comes back down to that whole mindfulness piece of right now, right here, that power of now. It's going to really serve us so well. I hope that resonates with some of you. I will scroll back up. I know there's a lot of comments coming in. So I will go there, but just lean into those pingings. What's coming into your awareness? Just start with, if you struggle a little bit with taking steps, sit with the acknowledging. So sit with, okay, I'm acknowledging this is what I'm being directed to. This is what I'm feeling. Just start in that space. If you do struggle with, what do I do with this? Sit in that space for a little bit and just find that new comfort. Find that new wisdom. Find that new clarity and spend a little bit of time getting used to it. We all have moments where we go back to that space of comfort zone. Didi, a Jimmy Buffett song keeps playing on my Spotify. Breathe in, breathe out, move on. The lyrics are great. Talks of having a watch that has no numbers, it just says now. There it is. And sometimes, Didi, I just want to kind of jump in on that. Sometimes something like a song that keeps coming up for you, there can be a sentence in there that what you really need to hear. Our messages come to us in many different ways. It might be a quote that you keep seeing. It might be a song that you keep hearing. It might be, something that keeps coming up for you over and over again. Our spirit guides and our higher self and our loved ones in the spirit dimensions, they're always here supporting us, and they will keep serving it up. They'll keep serving it up until we say, okay, I'm ready to kind of navigate through that and navigate into that learning and to see what's there. Sometimes it's a matter of just peeking our head around the corner and say, I wonder what's there for me today, and kind of leaning into that. Let's scroll up and have some chit chats here. And you're welcome to add any comments on the energy update today, if you will, if it makes sense to you, or if you're experiencing that already, that stronger subconscious intuitive wisdom, those pings from the universe, it's going to trickle in. Now, before I start reading some comments here, I'm not here on Friday. So this message is going to be the energy update right through the weekend. So, and will probably trickle into next week as we come into this shift. Because I don't think this is just going to be a couple days of that intuitive wisdom and those pings. I think this is going to be a theme that we're going to be seeing for the next several weeks. Okay, so just kind of take notes. If you don't journal little things that I say or take notes, just take a mental note of, okay, I need to just kind of lean into what pings that, because they're going to be coming in a little bit louder and a little bit clearer. All right, let's see what we have to say here. Someone's okay. Just scrolling through all the good morning messages. TB, I'm home today with a sick dog. Feel intuition stronger for sure. That's great validation. Cheyenne, Lana, is it possible for lightning storms to disturb my ability to channel? I was questioning last night as a thunderstorm rolled by, and I just couldn't tune in properly. Absolutely. There are many reasons why sometimes we can't tune in. And sometimes it can be a distraction. I don't energetically sometimes if we're more sensitive to storms and depending on how you channel, depending on how you work, you can feel a disconnect from the energy depending on what's going on in the sky. And it's not just storms, it can be with the astrology as well. And it's more of an energy base. You're just kind of learning how to navigate through that. When I first started channeling, there were so many things that would pull me out of it. And it was, for me, it was that whole distraction piece. It wasn't so much the energy blocking me, it was the distraction. I had to learn to stay connected throughout distraction, throughout noises. And there was a time that I couldn't even channel live. So I couldn't even do like a live event with other people's questions coming in at me. I had to learn to separate from the distractions. And because we're physical, we are used to distractions. But when we channel, we are not often used to those distractions. I hope that that makes sense to you, Cheyenne. When we feel distracted, I always say, don't force it. Take a break, try again another night, try again when the storm's over. I don't always, I never, ever force it. If it's not coming clearer, I just step back and say, thank you for the space. I'll try again tomorrow. I hope that that helps you there. Gianna, are there any messages for our family as a whole? Um, when I lean in there, the first words that come to me, and it may be one person in particular, or perhaps it's the collective family group, but one thing that I have to acknowledge that everybody is doing their best from where they're standing. So either somebody is struggling with, my best efforts, or I'm not doing well enough, or I'm not good enough. I just have to kind of lean in there and say, whatever you're learning both individually and as a family, everybody is doing their best with their life lessons, if that makes sense to you. And I just kind of have to hold the space with that. Yes, they're struggling, or perhaps somebody's having repeat lessons, but they're doing the best with what they know. They're doing the best with with the learning opportunity that they're here for. I also feel here, Deanna, that there's also a big connection here with somebody that's having repeat lessons. So is anybody struggling with the same thing? And I don't feel that it's huge. I just feel like someone's on a bit of a repeat loop. They're doing the best that they can. I also feel that there needs to be a little bit more practicing of, yes, we're together on this journey, but everyone's in their own lane, right? So I just kind of need to kind of practice that. So perhaps there's somebody that, or a few, that are crossing over into the intersection of other people's stuff. Just kind of lovingly, everyone's on their own lane, in their own lane, and we're journeying through this together. I hope that that makes sense to you there. Um, Maruna. Okay, I read that one about exactly how I feel. I can express myself without overthinking. The overthinking piece, sometimes sometimes we get carried away with that, with overthinking. And I've had my spirit guides literally holler at me, Lana, would you please stop? Just time out and just take the time to pause is the best thing to do. But yeah, the overthinking piece is something that's it's really easy to do, isn't it? Um I'm grateful for this heightened intuition coming. Sometimes I can't tell. Yes, we talked about that with the anxious and what's intuitive. The more that you practice leaning into that intuitive piece and trusting it, the easier that it does get. Um, I felt more natural knowing it That makes sense. Okay, perfect. Ria, I'm pulled to lean into the animal communication books. Let's just ask what you need to know. And I have landed on the flamingo. So, Ria, if this is your first time seeing me go to the book, parts of the message should resonate with you. There may be a sentence or two that doesn't, but the flamingo. Avoid loud, noisy events in chaotic or frenzied situations. Be ruthlessly honest with yourself as you check in and see if you're following your inner truth. That's interesting. Um, Significantly increase the amount of vegetables in your diet that contain beta carotene, such as carrots, broccoli, and spinach. Before taking action on the question before you, balance the information you're getting physically or intuitively by thinking it through carefully and logically. You've been isolating yourself too long, so it's now time to seek out the company and companionship of others. A couple interesting points there. Again, talking about our inner truth, that's our intuition, and allowing that, and the whole balancing piece, which has also been a theme for the last week or so, has also come up. So, and again with the word intuitively, by thinking it through carefully. So it kind of is big alignment with what we've talked about this morning, with that powerful shift coming in, with that stronger subconscious and those intuitive wisdom and pings. So, give yourself some space to start trusting that intuitive side to you. It's Fran. I always used to question. I'm learning to trust. Hello, darling. Fran, one of the biggest, and just so that for those of you who may not know Fran is one of my mentoring students here. And she has taken such huge leaps in trusting, and it's and about listening and paying attention to that inner peace, her inner knowing. And you've done exceptionally well, Fran. I applaud you for all your hard work on your spiritual growth, and learning to trust yourself as well as trusting your guides. And it is so hard to do that sometimes when we don't understand why, and the lessons, and the timelines. And that's the other thing, we always, as humans, want things now. And it's like, it's that you can't go on to grade 2 until you've completed grade 1, right? So, it is a learning process. And Fran, you have done exceptionally well. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Cheyenne makes me think of Harry Potter when he's in the train station, heaven, and meets. He asks if it's real or if it's in his head. And that is a very common thing. And I went through that for many years. What if I'm crazy? What if I'm making it up? What if it's in my head? And then I just slowly started working on that trust factor, and that is the greatest gift that you can give yourself. And that is the way into getting more and more connections from the spirit dimensions, is to turn up that trust. Sone, can you pick a page from your spirit animal book for me? Much love, for sure. So, what does Sone need to know? And let's open it up here. The butterfly. Oh, I love it. Lighten up and stop taking everything so seriously. Get ready for a big change, one where an old habit, way of thinking, or lifestyle is going out, and a new way of being is emerging. Here we go again with that powerful shift. Wow. It's time to make the changes you've been considering. In spite of challenges, you'll get through this transition. And as always, know that this too shall pass. Sometimes it passes like a kidney stone, but it does pass. Express yourself by wearing more colorful clothing. Interesting. It's funny because I've been leaning into a lot more color lately as well. I've been feeling this. I don't know if it's a fall thing, but I've been pulling out a lot of colors. But that is very interesting. Again, with the stop taking everything so seriously. That's the overthinking piece too, isn't it? And get ready for big change. There is some change a coming, everyone. And I myself, I'm always eager for that growth. Um, Sorry, I lost my spot. I often lose my spot. Um, Melissa, do you have any messages I need to hear from spirit? Um, as I'm reading into that, Melissa, I feel like either you've very recently turned a new page, like a new chapter or a new beginning. And I feel like I have to give you these words, is write your own adventure. So it's your story. Write your own. So I don't know if you've been if there's been a lot of things from the past, or if you've been struggling with moving forward, or if you're literally starting a new chapter, but starting a new something new about starting and writing it yourself, and kind of working on that alignment piece. I feel that very, very loudly. I also have to talk about, I'm not quite sure why, but perhaps you'll understand it and you can answer me in the chat. The month of May seems to be significant anniversary, birthday, or passing, because number 5 is floating around you as I chit chat. I also have to talk about those tingly spidey senses of yours. I feel them quite tingly and quite aware, and I feel like you're stepping up into that heightened awareness and embracing those tingles, the spiritual goosebumps, those that validation feeling. You know what I mean by that? Like when you get that goosebumps or that chill. I feel like your spirit guides and your ancestors and this whole spirit dimension is coming in closer and coming in closer. And I feel like it's big into this space of new chapter. It's like I need to give you I don't want to use the word permission, but I need to like say it's okay. It's okay to turn the page. It's okay to rewrite something, if that makes sense to you. I'll leave that there with you, darling. Jolene, I just feel the space is empty and feels kind of weird. Open space and something really raw. Um, Jolene, when it comes to that new space and that raw feeling, quite often that is our own personal shift. We're coming into either a new version of ourselves, we're coming into a whole new level of our spiritual growth. I understand that feeling completely. I've hit that space many times. Feeling raw or feeling naked is what my spirit guide Esther does with me when I need to kind of really look at something. So I feel like you're coming into that space where there's new you, there's new things around you, and it kind of feels a little bit out of sorts. But I also feel like you need to look at something hard on as to what it is. So if that makes sense to you there. Let's see where we're going. I love that. Enjoy where you are. It's enjoy where you are. I'm been working on that so much. And that's something that really we have to kind of, you know, remind ourselves to hit the repeat button on is I'm going to stay where I am. I've really worked hard on that. I don't even look ahead at my calendar anymore unless I need to for work. If I need to like open up some availability, or if I don't look ahead for months down the line. I really stay in the power. Right now everything is working out for me. Right now this is what I'm working on. I try to really really focus on that power of now. And I think sometimes when have you ever had that moment, oh my gosh, it's Christmas season already, or oh my gosh, how is my child doing this already? Didn't they just walk yesterday? Right? Time goes so fast. And the more time that we spend in the power of now, the more clearer and the more enjoyable and the more that we connect as well to spirit. Spirit is always right now. I get told that all the time. Lana, don't worry about that. You're right here, right now. Um Horizon Phoenix. I feel crazy. I think I keep seeing a black cat, a spirit cat in the condo, and I can't place where it's from. Um, First of all, Horizon Phoenix, let's look up the black cat in the spirit animal book. Let's just see if it resonates at all as a message. Um, So it doesn't come up as black cat for me, it comes up as cat. Okay, so let's just see if any of this makes sense to you. This is a period where self-sufficiency and trust in your own capabilities is necessary. Honor your sensuality by dancing slowly with graceful and easy movements, and by enjoying touch and physical intimacy. Listen closely to your intuitive guidance, as it is likely an ancestor who is one of your spirit guides trying to communicate with you. Try talking to that black cat. Um, this is a period of magic and mystery for you, so pay close attention to signs, omens that will guide and direct you. Whatever you've released, relationships, material goods, or self defeating habits, will soon be replaced with something or someone entirely more suitable for who you are presently. Do something totally wild and out of character, yet which is completely harmless. Break away from unhealthy dependencies on others. So, there's a lot of powerful stuff in there. So number one, it does tap into again to this whole growth piece that we've been talking about this morning. Number two, this black cat could be connecting to you as either a spirit guide or a loved one from the spirit dimensions. Start talking to that cat. Start, even if you don't actually see it right now in this moment, close your eyes, visualize the cat and have a chit chat and just feel what you get back. Feel what do I need to know? Okay, so this black cat's coming to me. Come on back. Let's have a talk. If you prefer to automatic write or if you prefer to just listen in stillness, what's coming into your intuitive space? What wisdom, what pings are coming into your awareness? Also, don't overthink it. Okay, so I always say to spirit, "Oh, there you are. Okay, I'm seeing you." I try not to overthink it. I just acknowledge it. Because you keep seeing it, there is a reason why this spirit cat is coming to you. Sit with the spirit animal. Sit with the energy. Okay. And sometimes Arise in Phoenix, and I think you're on my lives quite a bit. So you've probably heard me say this story before, as some of you, as the rest of you may have as well, is that whole spirit guide that sat with me for 25 years in daily meditations and wouldn't tell me your name. Right? She was always there to guide me. But I kept focusing on what's your name, what's your name, what's your name, and it was literally a long, long time. And the one time I didn't ask her name, she told me. And I was like, "Why today?" And she's like, "You trusted, you didn't ask." So, sometimes, spirit will turn up the volume if you're working on your growth and development by sending you a messenger, by sending you a spirit guide. And spirit guides can show up as spirit animals or loved ones from the spirit dimensions. I hope that helped you there. Uh, Peyton, I feel your message today. I keep seeing a seashell in my mind's eye as a symbol of using clairaudience to hear spirit. When I'm still, I see and hear. I'm learning to trust it. Good for you, Peyton. Increase the amount of time that you're sitting in that space. And that is the biggest thing is sometimes we need to um increase the amount of time that we're sitting with spirit. It helps move that energy. It helps strengthen our connection. Okay. Enjoy where you are. Just Lana saying that makes my spirit guide giggle because he knows me. I'm already hearing that message with a dang it. I love that so much. I love that so much. Uh Love that Jimmy Buffett song. I'll look up that song. I want to put a suggestion there to you for all of us because that song keeps getting commented on. Let's play that song at some point today and turn the volume up. All right, let's lean into that song and just kind of like sit with it, dance with it, feel it. Let us all just try that and see if it helps, if it brings us to any messages or brings us to that space so that we can kind of lean in there a little bit. Let's get playful. Let's play that song loud today and lean in there. Wesley, earlier or this month, a singer that I listened to released a song, Breaking Breathing. Lovely. That's fantastic. Sorry, I lost my space again here. Okay, so the angel numbers, they are all you can. I won't take up too much more time here or on the lives with the angel numbers. Go ahead and look them up. They're usually all very similar, very common, depending on what app that you're looking up on or what Google you're looking up on. But they are all very very similar. So go ahead and look up your angel numbers or your repeat numbers. Sometimes it's just a message with spirit saying, "Hey, I'm here." It can be your spirit guides reaching out with a little bit of validation, and it can be also be something that you really need to hear. So go ahead and look up those as they come into you. TB, my dog is nearing passing, and I kept getting songs yesterday as I was crying that really had that lines really helped me to see her needing to move on and go home. It was quite profound. um I also feel very strongly there, TB, that I feel the dog is ready. I feel the dog is leaning in to get you to that ready space, and it sounds like you've shifted into that. Cheyenne, oh yeah, I'm very sensitive on storms. I feel thunderstorms coming before they arrive. Me and my friend theorize that it's because thunderstorm brings tons of chaos. I don't work well with chaos. Okay, I want you to kind of shift that a little bit too, Cheyenne, because yes, thunderstorms may bring a lot of chaos, but it also does a lot of clearing. So, for me, with thunderstorms and heavy rains is a lot of cleansing and a lot of clearing energy. And sometimes it can be of physical stuff as well. So I always lean into water brings growth, water brings cleansing, water can bring clarity, washing away. Lean into that as well, because again, with that balance, yes, it brings chaos, but it also brings in so many wonderful things as well that may help you with that sensitivity, with the chaos, and kind of leaning into that balance piece a bit of, yes, it brings chaos, but it also brings some glorious things too. I think sometimes we forget to do that. We have to balance that. But, even if it's like I'm going through a chaotic time right now and things may be a little bit difficult, and I will always add to my recipe with everything is always working out for me. It always has. It's always worked out for me. It always has. I'm going to understand it at some point on the journey. Just kind of bring that back up a little bit, okay? And the reason for that is sometimes, if you believe in energy and that our thoughts create things, if you're hearing that thunderstorm and you start worrying about chaos, it is a form of pulling that energy in as well. So just kind of balance it with it's going to work out, right? Just kind of lean in there just a little bit more. Um Joe Smith, lots of activity around me yesterday, shadows and seeing things out of the corner of my eye. Oh, I love it. Was happening to mom too. The then bed reading, my radio started in then bed reading, my radio started playing. Do you know who it is? Um, I am feeling like a father energy, so like a father figure, so it can be grandfather or father figure. I also feel very much with there's a level of support here that's needed. There's a level that I just feel like the support. I can feel a stronger foundation, a level of support kind of lifting you up with some support. So I'm not sure. Does that make sense to you there, Joe? Um, Dee Dee, can you pull a spirit animal for me this morning? 100%. What does Dee Dee need to know? A leopard. Take some time in solitude, preferably in nature, for a full day. Oh, I'll go with you. I love a full day in nature. Be sure to pace yourself by providing times of rest and play during intense cycles. Again, with that balance, right? A lot of balance coming up last couple days to a week. Whatever goal you're pursuing, do not reveal too much about it until it's completed, or this will interfere with its achievement. That's an important one. You'll be able to foresee events very vividly and accurately through dreams, visions, or feelings. There we go again with that stronger shift coming in, that ping. A secret that's been kept from you will soon be revealed. This is time for expressing yourself passionately in whatever you do. With persistence, and steadiness, you'll attain your goal. Your intuition is heightened at this time. Again, fascinating. So pay attention to your feelings and trust. Wow. I always ask myself, like, why are you so surprised when it resonates? It's exactly what we've been talking about. I love it so much. It's more of that pleasure of, yeah, there we go. We kind of all need to lean into that a little bit more. Melissa Adams, for me, whenever there's a thunderstorm, my service dog is very anxious and his energy definitely affects me. I would, Melissa, so I do a lot of animal communication work and I do a lot of things with animals who are struggling with certain fears. Quite often because animals, remember, have all had past lives, and fears that are a little bit irrational or fears that are like excessive can connect to that animal's past life. So what I would do is, Melissa, is I would try, if you know a thunderstorm is coming, try and balance the energy a little bit. It is a hard one to work through, but try and balance the energy a little bit. So try some Hertz frequency music. Try a little bit of grounding work with the service dog. A lot of communication with, and explain to the animal that it's coming. Animals understand more than what we think that they do. So really working on that energy of safe environment. I really feel that a piece of this does connect to a past life. And it's storm related. So perhaps that dog's soul may have been on a boat during a storm, and there was tragedy there. They do have past life memories. So and sometimes it might just be a fear of the storm, but I'm really pulled into that, and I keep seeing the ship. So that connects to this dog's soul. So I feel that this is kind of like a big piece of a past life here with this animal soul. Work on just shifting a little bit of the energy during the storm and before the storm. I hope that helps you there. Very interesting. Um, tired. I can hear everybody's energy. I feel like I've got to add support there. I really feel either I think she's been tired for a lot longer than what she's let on as well. And with caregiver burnout, it's a big thing. I feel like I've got to pull in extra help. I feel like I've got to kind of like literally with her, I feel like if she won't take a full-on break or a day off without somebody saying, I will come in and take this day for you. I really have to turn up the support there. I feel like she's struggling even more than what she's sharing. And I feel like it's been going on for a little bit, if that makes sense. I'll leave that with you. Um, oh, I love the answers on the numerology. Thank you for that, for taking that time to answer that. It really does help a lot. We all bring different gifts to the table, don't we? We all have different experiences, and I love that you're answering those for me because I can't get to every single question or every angel number on these lives. So and I try my best to get to as many. So thank you for those who have knowledge and wisdom in the number end of it to be answering some questions. Good. I appreciate that. I think I have to listen and sit with your response. I think I know what the main message it was, but I will confirm at a later time. Thank you, Lana. You're much welcome and much love. Much love. Dragon of Light. Oh, I love your handle. I love past life. I do too. About Sirius B the other day. I had a past life. Sorry, my misreading there. Um, are you able to pick up on the ways my spirit guides are currently trying to communicate with me? I feel like you're getting it kind of like in many different messages in many different ways. And I feel that they're kind of working on finding that connection on how you're going to hear them and what and how much how you're going to lean in and trusting that. I really feel that your spidey senses are being fine-tuned. I also feel there's a lot of dream connection here. Set the intention to remember your dream, but I also really feel like I've got to kind of give you that space. I don't know if I just feel like a busy energy around you. Like I feel like you're quite busy, or there's a lot going on, but I feel like I've got to give you that space of take it can be 60 seconds. It doesn't have to be long. Take some time to sit with them. Pull up a chair. I always invite my spirit guides, have a seat while we chit chat on the couch. Just take some time to talk. Take some time to really I feel like they're wanting you to like pause a little bit more. Have a seat. Like I just like stay still. That's kind of how I feel there. I feel like they're asking you to just like slow it down a little bit. I hope that helps there. Don't forget to like the live, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. And speaking of your support, if you've noticed, I put a link to my website on the community page. I've made it to the finals for the Reader's Choice 2023. Canadians and my USA friends are eligible to vote. If you go over to my website, right on the front page, you will see a vote here. If you are enjoying my channeling and my work here that I'm doing, I would appreciate and be so grateful for your votes for the Reader's Choice. Yeah, thank you very much for that. And for me, one thing for me, this is really interesting. So just to kind of show that I'm always working on my growth, for me, asking is a big thing. For me, it's, to be able to say, hey, I've been nominated. Go ahead and vote. For me, that's huge. For me, asking is huge. And that's something that I'm working on stepping out of and saying, I could use your support. That's a big one for me, and I think we're all navigating through a lot of our things. It was easier for me this time to speak on it than it ever has been. Interesting, eh? So there's, again with that beautiful shift and that coming into that stronger space. Bianca, my ex best friend's mom has passed. Found out through social media. Me and her don't talk anymore and didn't end on the best terms. I want to send her healing energetically, though. Any advice? Bianca, that is a beautiful question. So, one thing that you can do is, and if you haven't already, I feel that you have for the most part. I feel that you have put down all those bad terms. So, just visualizing yourself doing that once again is literally grab something that's gonna. I'm gonna use this book as an example. I'm gonna put down all of the lessons that we've learned with each other. We came together for a reason. We've taught each other things, and then what I would simply do is I just sit within my heart space. You can put your hand on your heart if you want to, whatever symbolizes unconditional love for you. If it's a, if you want to use a rose quartz or any crystal or anything at all, whatever symbolizes that for you, and to give you that focus. And then visualize that love and expanding and well wishes. And sometimes, if that's all that you can muster up, is I just wish you well on your journey. And just literally, sometimes it helps to hit the enter button on your phone or hit the send button on just or have an imaginary send button. I'm going to send that to you. I'm gonna send it, or you can visualize it going through the mail. They're gonna receive it, and they can decide if they want to pick it up or not. But I'm gonna send you that love and that support and that healing, whatever it is that you want to send. Visualization really helps, or you can just simply talk yourself through it. I'm gonna send Bianca some love and some supportive light. I'm just gonna talk it through. If you're not a visual person, and then I'm gonna send it. She's gonna receive it. She and whether or not she picks it up, I don't need to worry about her coming into that. And that's an exercise that I do quite often with people is I'm just gonna send you some love and light. I'm not gonna try and analyze it or do anything else. I'm just gonna send you some love and light. Sometimes that's all we can do, right? Sometimes that's all we can do. Um, 10. Are there any messages from my spirit guides for me? I'm told to ask an angel number. That was funny. I wasn't gonna look any up. Now they're like, pull a number. Let's open it up and see where we go. 219. Your thoughts are focused on career and your purpose right now. Optimism brings the reward you seek, so stay positive. So, has there been a lot of focus on career, or studies, and your purpose right now? So, has your focus been there? Optimism brings the rewards you seek, so stay positive. I love that message. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Melissa, my daughter's birthday is May. So there's the 5. I have the goosebumps right now. There's some validation. Love it. I love it so much. Um, Shaz, what will the month of September look like for me? Um, I really feel a lot here, Shaz, with balancing. I feel like you're coming into a space of decisions. I need to take those decisions into the that intuitive space, into that inner wisdom that's coming in. I've got to have you been, Shaz, have you been internalizing something? I suddenly went internal. I suddenly started feeling I was internalizing something. I feel like I've got to kind of like, how you crack an egg? I've kind of like got to crack that egg of holding so much in. And I feel like there's this release. I feel like there's more release. I feel like there's more expansion, but I feel like I just got to get you through a little bit of that wobble, if that makes sense. But I feel like there's like a lot of, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try. I feel like there's this space of shifts and changes, if that makes sense there for you. I personally also like to live in the moment. Very powerful. Melissa, as a mom, I have focused almost completely on my daughter and family and their needs. My sister has also been needing my help a lot. So hearing I need to focus on my story is spot on. Sometimes we need to be reminded that we need to go first too, right? We need to fill up our own spiritual cup too, or we need to charge ourselves too. We can't be of great service for other people if we're not looking after and keeping that balance in ourselves. So I'm glad that that resonated there with you, beauty. Finding time and focusing what I want and need has been a tough one for me, but I've been trying now that she's in school. And you know what? Sometimes you guys, it can literally be this 5 minutes is for me. And sometimes it can be this 5 minutes is I'm just gonna lay out on the floor or under a tree or on the couch and close my eyes. It can be that simple. Right. I did that actually yesterday. Actually, I was like, I'm taking five, and I was like, I thought I was going to meditate or I was going to read, and I'm like, nope, I'm just going to lay down flat. That's sometimes that's all we need, right? It's so true. Um, Kindergarten is the hardest for everyone. I feel for all of you. Love goes out to both of you. Oh, I love that. It is tough. It's big changes. Um, I also feel like that when I look back at that kindergarten piece, it was harder for me. It was harder for me than it was for my little one going to kindergarten. It was like that I'm letting go of your hand again, right? And it got easier from kindergarten to grade 8. But I went through that shift again when I had to let someone let go of their hand again for grade 9. It felt like kindergarten again. It's growth and letting go um pulls on that heartstring, doesn't it? Okay. The cat reading resonates with me. Yeah. Dragon of Light. I love that, by the way, again. I love that. I always been seeing Black Cat too. There we go. Um, Tin. Thank you so much, Lana. There has been more of a focus in my career studies and inner work. I've started attachment therapy course and a lot of helpful tools to reprogram my core wounds. I really need to applaud you on that, Tin. Well done. That's some deep work. That's some deep work. And as we work through that reprogramming, there is such a new space and a whole new adventure, and I feel very, very confident that you are going to enjoy that so much. Um, Jolene, I don't feel that you're missing. So I just want to, quite often, if we're missing a message from spirit, so they will continue to help you grow to hear it. So I don't look at it as a missing. Lean into it as, I'm learning a new way. I don't feel it as a missing. I feel like it's a new work program. If that makes sense there to you. Um, Cheyenne. Oh, sorry, Wesley. Cheyenne. I have that too. Sometimes where the chat only shows up switching from top chat to live. Okay, I'm not sure what that statement is, but I think Wesley's explaining it here. Melissa, I'm gonna cry. My grandma who passed used to call me beauty. Spirit is amazing. Spirit is amazing. Uh, I always look at the kids' next steps as good. If they weren't ready, I would be concerned. Even though it's hard for me, it's healthy for them. Absolutely, Fran. Absolutely. Thank you guys. I generally love you guys, and I'm so grateful. I love everybody here too, Melissa. I am so grateful. I have a hard time ending the I have a hard time ending the chats. Even when I'm pushed for time, I take it right till that last second, and then I leave here and I scurry up to get on with my day. I love this group so much. And speaking of that, I do have to end things here. Um I have to do something that isn't my favorite thing to do this morning. I've got to go to the dentist. So it is, I'm grateful to be able to go to the dentist, but it's not one of my favorite things. So I will have to let you guys go. If you have time, if you could head over to my website, thehawkandI.com, and cast a vote, I would be very grateful. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed your session here with me. I will be back on Monday. I'm heading to a hockey tournament for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and hopefully Sunday if we make the finals. And I'm going to enjoy the vibration of youth and good times and sport and activity. And I am going to really stay present in that moment and salivated it just kind of salivate in it, just kind of really live in that space. Have a great couple days, and I will be back on Monday. As always, love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day. Take care.